Hi there, and welcome back to another episode at Station Road. And hopefully you'll be able to hear this because I've had to improvise with a microphone. But as you can see, of course, I'm in the UK and we're at the National Railway Museum in York. So there's one special locomotive that I'd really like to see here. So I think it might be time to head indoors and see what there is to discover. So we've made it inside the museum, and the first locomotive that I've spotted actually, which is not by the main door obviously, but this is the Q1. Now this is not my favourite locomotive, but it is coming in probably a close second or third in terms of steam locomotives. So I'm going to have to do a lot of editing here because even though the museum staff did say that it's quiet on a Sunday afternoon, there is actually still a lot of people here. So I'm going to have to cut a lot, so you might find that the frames jump about a bit in order to avoid getting people in the frame. So as I mentioned, the Q1, I do find it quite an interesting locomotive, mainly for obviously its very austere image and approach to the design. It's simple and clean and very unlike a traditional locomotive. So we'll head on over to my favourite steam locomotive and hopefully be able to get a clean cut videoing that without too many people wandering around, which might be impossible. So here is the locomotive in question, and of course it has to be the Evening Star Class 9F. Now this is a particular favourite locomotive of mine, as it was really the first proper steam locomotive I had in model form, and it was one of the earlier Hornby Evening Stars, which I still have in my collection. So there's just something particular I like about the 9F, and it is simply its wheel configuration. For some reason, the more main driving wheels there are, the more interested I get. So this, of course, being the 210O, it appeals to me a great deal. I have no idea why, but it just does. So I've got 5 9Fs in my model collection, and they range from the early Hornby model, although not the earliest one with the tender drive, but the next one up, which had the main driving wheels operating. And then that's all the way through to the latest Hornby 9F rendition, which of course is an absolutely beautiful scale model, and Hornby have done that extremely well. And in between there's a range of other 9Fs in the collection, including a Crosty 9F as well. So I think I purchased my first Hornby 9F when I was in my mid-teens, and I managed to pick one up second-hand at a model shop. So it was really my first serious steam locomotive, and I've always been attached to the 9Fs ever since. So there's a little bit of information on a panel here regarding the Evening Star, and of course you can pause that and read about it, but I'm sure most of my viewers will probably have a thorough or reasonably good knowledge of the 9F. As we know, it was the last, well, the Evening Star was the last steam locomotive ever produced by British Rail, and I think it only lasted for about 6 or 7 years before the 9Fs were decommissioned, because these steam locomotives were designed and built after the modernisation plan had begun for British Rail, which was converting to diesel traction. So it was quite a curious one, the 9F. So to be standing next to this up close and personal, as they say, and to be able to see the scale of it after all these many years I've been looking down on it as a little wee model running around my layout. So it is actually extraordinary to see this in its real life form. So now that I've seen a 9F in the flesh, and in particular the Evening Star, and of course this being my last day in York, as of tomorrow I'll be travelling up to Whitby and of course travelling on the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. Now I understand that they have a 9F in operation there, so I am really hoping that the 2 days that I'll actually be up there, that hopefully they might have a 9F running, and that would be absolutely fantastic. So there may well be another video coming up, obviously, after I have ventured the North Yorkshire Moors. So there we have it. It's the Class 9F. It's definitely at the top of my steam locomotive list, and it's absolutely fantastic, particularly to see this Evening Star in the flesh, as I mentioned earlier. So I'll sign off on this particular video, and hopefully, as I mentioned, another video might be coming up relating to the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. So possibly see you then. So do take care, everyone. Look after yourselves. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe as always. And I will catch you next time. Bye for now.